Denise is looking for a second date update, and we're going to try to help her out this morning. Hi, Denise. Welcome in. How are you?
Hi. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Happy to. So you want to tell us how you met Brian? We'll go from there.
Yeah, sure. Actually, a friend of a friend. We met at church. We've been eyeing each other a little bit, and I didn't know that he was friends with my friend.
That helps.
So it was kind of too perfect. We ended up going out twice. The first time was for dinner. Everything went extremely well, like really well.
Oh.
It was really great. It's been so hard to find somebody that's friendly, fun, and charming.
You just needed a good church-going boy, that's all.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I mean, and the fact that we not only had a great time, we just really had so much in common. Like, we're both West Siders. We're both recently divorced. And we both have 2 kids that are young, like younger than 5. So I don't know. We ended up setting a second date up for like a play date over at the park. He suggested that. So that was a huge green flag, you know?
Yeah.
But this is where things get a little murky. My kids have been asking a bunch of times, like when we were going to get together with him again. And I've texted him a couple times. But I haven't heard anything back from
Well, that's
him.
a good sign that the kids had so much fun that they want to see these people. Because these kids hadn't met prior to the play date, correct?
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
They did meet, or they had not met prior to the play date?
They had not met him before the play date, but the kids, they kind of randomly see each other at church. So,
Oh, gotcha. But they all get along, though.
Correct.
So your 2 were hoping to get together with the other 2 again, and what? He just never responded when you tried to set it up?
Or just anything. He hasn't even gotten back to me. I'm really just I'm not trying to be pushy or, take things fast.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the one who recommended the play date. So I figured he was in it, and I don't know what happened. And this is where you guys come in, because I don't normally introduce men to my kids, especially the second date. I mean, this has really been my first try.
Foray into the dating world since the divorce?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's all new for me. And I know you guys do this, and so that's why I need to call you. Some of my friends were like, why don't you just call the radio station? So I'm like, I guess.
Why not?
I'll try anything at this point.
What's it gonna hurt? You're just risking some public humiliation, but that's not a big deal. You get over it.
My hands are sweaty right now. I'm a little dry mouth because I'm nervous. I don't know.
I know, we're so good at calming people down when they're nervous. All right, I'm sure there's a reasonable, logical explanation for it. We will get you an explanation, a satisfactory I hope it'll be a satisfactory explanation as we continue with Second Date Update. We'll call Brian next and see what his deal is and see if we can put Brian and Denise together for another play date. Denise and Brian have a lot in common. They're both recently divorced. They both have 2 small children under the age of 5. They both go to the same church, although they hadn't really been formally introduced until a friend of a friend introduced them, and they seemed to hit it off great. This was her first foray into the dating world since the split, and dinner went wonderfully. So much in common. Aside from how their lives are very similar, they just seem to hit it off. The second date was a play date. I know we call the second date update, but they actually had a second date. They brought the kids along. The kids got along great. Kids were hoping they could do yet another play date. When she tried to reach out and set it up, there was no response from him. And that was a bit ago. So if you're at the point where you're calling us to call him, this guy obviously really got to you.
See, this is where I don't like the meeting somebody at church thing. Because
I was just going to say that. I can't.
But it's a big church, you said, right?
It is. And we have a bunch of different services, but I have a routine,
But you have the time you want to go. But if you want to avoid somebody, you don't ever know.
Well, and that's all the more reason why he should have responded one way or
Yes.
another. So that's really on him.
See, there's some church people that just go through the motions. They don't actually live it. They think going to church once a week is all they need to do. They just go to church and then they go home and they go back to their evil ways.
Oh, don't forget, you put it on your Instagram, too, as your very first thing.
Yes.
On Sunday
You're
or
a
Saturday.
he-ham Christ follower.
Yes.
It would have been a church thing to call you back, but now...
Yep.
Well, let's call Brian and see what's going on there. Maybe it could be a reasonable explanation. We don't know. Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
It's Jeff and Jen at Q102. How are you, man?
Well,
Hi.
How are you, dude?
good. What is happening?
Oh, we got Fritch and Tim here, too. You're on
Hi.
speakerphone. We just wanted to wake you up with a good morning and a hey and a how are you and why haven't you called Denise back?
Yeah, we want to talk a little bit about the Lord and living right.
And some judging. And we're going to give you some judging.
No
That's
judging.
not true.
It's my jury duty experience. I'm going to start judging.
No, ever since jury duty, man, she's on a warpath, this one. No, Brian, we wanted to reach out. We heard from the lovely Denise, who you met at church. I know you two recently did a play date with your kids, and she had nothing but great things to say about you and how well the kids got along, and she was looking to see if you and the kids would be available for another play date.
Oh, wow. No, I liked her. I did really like her. And I thought, it might be potentially serious. But yeah, when our kids got together, it's a no. It's a no for
That's really interesting that you say that because she said that her kids had such a great time. They were the ones kind of driving the whole, hey, let's do this again.
I just don't think I'd be able to live with her. I don't want to push this way ahead in the future, but there were just many things that were just kind of I found flat out annoying.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, she does this baby talk thing. It's like your kids are 3 and 5, and it's just like, ugh.
Some people cannot tolerate baby talk.
It's awful.
They just cannot do it. Some people like it.
Time and place.
I think I'm in the former. And she's very much a helicopter mom. She's just on top of them all the time. Is a real turnoff.
Oh.
Right in the middle, we'd be talking, and then it would just be like, oh, there she goes. She's off running to say something to somebody. Couldn't take a step without, her being right there with the kids and just constantly.
Are her kids accident prone? Do they have behavioral issues?
Yeah, maybe
Could
they
not
need a
be
little helicopter following them around.
Yeah, could they not be trusted to socialize with children they don't know? I mean,
I don't
could there
know
be a
her
good
kids.
reason for her being on top of them like she was?
I don't know. They seem like pretty normal kids to me, but who knows? I don't know. She did start to do it to my kids a little bit, though, and I was like, all right, that's kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Overstepping.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing just seems like, not a good fit.
Well, maybe all she needs is just a checked out co-parent to help balance her out a little bit.
Oh, there we go. I don't know how that works because she wouldn't trust him alone with
No.
them.
This is hard because I
Honestly,
get
that's
it.
exactly what I thought because I'm a great mom. I love my kids, and I'm just trying to take good care of them.
You're just trying to be
know?
engaged, right?
Yeah, connected.
Is that Denise?
Hello? Yeah?
Oh, yeah, Denise is on the other line.
Oh.
I've never had my parenting insulted before. And for the record, your kids could use a little more attention. I mean, they're a little bit out of control and not very well mannered.
Oh, boy.
Well, I wasn't necessarily insulting you. That's just your style. I guess I have a different style that you don't like.
You mean
I
a
don't know.
style of not at all engaging and being on your phone almost the whole time. I mean, I just wish you would have talked to me. I don't know why we couldn't have.
And yet you were willing to let our kids go back together, I guess, even though you don't approve of my parenting. I don't know.
I figured maybe we could be a good fit, but according to you, absolutely not. And I would appreciate next time for you to be the gentleman that you portrayed yourself to be and not to ghost me or not talk to me, like a child.
Sunday school class is going to be fun moving forward.
I understand this though. Like, it's weird. I mean, I obviously think that you should be parenting other people's kids, but sometimes it's like, man, if I was with those kids for 1 week, I feel like I could
straighten them out.
Evolve into some other thing.
I could help these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to have similar parenting styles because
mentalities.
I can't even tell. Oh, yeah. I mean, because it's confusing for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, plus it's really hard too when you want to hang out with other parents that you like, but you really like those parents, but they're so lenient or they're so strict on their kids that you're like,
you just can't.
I don't want our kids to be friends, but I want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
You see that happens.
Well, we tried.
I never thought that we could get along so well and then have completely different parenting.
It's a big thing, though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Something I guess
I'm just shrugging pretty hard over here.
Remaining quiet.
Well, thank you for taking the call, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, I guess.
We appreciate you picking up and talking to us.
No, we do. We got the
no
answer.
problem.
All right. And Denise, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay. If we can do a second date update for you, we can't guarantee an outcome. But, we're happy to put the effort forth and see. I mean, the biggest thing for most people, at least, the feedback that we get from people, whether there's a date or not, is, all right, at least I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Not to give you something else to feel insecure or obsess about, but you wanted to know. Okay. That's why we do it. That's why it continues. Boy, dating has really changed over the years, though. It really has evolved.
Even since we've been doing this bit.
Right. Yeah, it was just a silly bit that I didn't think would last. I really didn't think. We started it in October. Gosh, was it 2013? We've been at this 11 years.
Yep.
I didn't think this thing would go on 6 months before people would just wise up to it and just be like, I'm not going on that. But yeah, there's like an endless supply of stories from people. Somebody asked me the other day, why would people go on that? They're like, why would they talk about their life in that way? I'm like, why do people go on reality shows?
Yeah. Have you been on any social media? All people do is talk about their life.
Just because you're an introvert and maybe you would not put your personal stuff out there, there's plenty of people who are like, whatever, this is me. I am what I am. Take it or leave it.
Happy to have them.
And then you have the oversharers like me.
Are you kidding? I love that.
That'll tell you anything you want to hear.
We were
Most of the time.
We were at the precinct yesterday, and you guys know I have not been drinking.
Oh, boy.
And we did cocktail samplings for their new fall menu.
Fun.
And they made an Italian margarita, some sort of apple drink for the fall.
Tim and I were fighting over the margarita.
Woo! There was a lot of TMI. There was a lot of oversharing in that conversation. Luckily,
That's the best.
We each had half of a marg, and we started talking about Joe Burrow, is all I need to say.
That's great.
We don't need to go into any more details.
and everyone in the room was on the same page.
That's awesome.